Today, I'm going to show you how I made $26,500 day trading today within 20 minutes and in 2 trades. And I'm going to break down each trade I took today and my strategy as well. So for transparency purposes, you can see my P&L with Topstep totaling around 6K across 5 accounts, 6.5K. And then my Lucid's totaling 20K with 4K on each account. And then you can see my execution. So on the left, this is Topstep, and on the right is Lucid. And I'll show you my chart as well. So you can see trade syncer. This is my trade syncer clearly. And then on Topstep, I have it open. You can see this is the long that I took. I'll refresh it too, so you can see everything is legit. And then Topstep as well. These are, so this is the short trade that I took. But yeah, let's get into the video. So before I tell you guys about my trading strategy and the trades I took today, if you don't know who I am, my name is Eric. I've been day trading for 5 years now, and I have over 6 figures in trading payouts. I'm also a college student studying data science with a focus on financial markets, and I'm also a former BlackRock intern. Now, before I get into the exact trades I took today, I want you guys to understand the strategy that I trade. So it's very simple. It's just a 15-minute orb, also known as the open range breakout. Very popular strategy. It's nothing special or hidden, but works very, very well. So it probably works on NQ and ES. This is what I personally traded on, so the NASDAQ and S&P 500. It should work on other assets in stocks as well, but as always, even if you're trying a new strategy, just make sure you backtest and build experience with it before implementing. So let's get into the strategy in itself. It's very simple. All you do is wait out the first 15 minutes of market open. So you wait for a 9:30 market open, then wait till 9:45. So you're gonna form a candle that's something like this. This is the first 15 minute candle, right? 9:30, 9:45. And all you got to do is draw the high of that candle and draw the low of that candle. So this is our 2 levels. So this is our what we call opening range. Now, price within that is probably going to look something like this. Let's just say, for example, it looks like this. Now, the key part of the strategy is after this range forms, you wait for a breakout in one of the directions. So if it breaks up here, then you look for longs. And if it breaks down here, then you look for shorts. So if price comes down here and we get confirmation, right? If we get confirmation that price is underneath this level and wants to move lower, then we can simply just short and do something like that. And if price moves up above this level and we get confirmation, then we can go ahead and long and trade the continuation, so the breakup up. So very, very simple. And that's kind of the first way to trade it, right? Is to trade the breakouts and the trend. Now, the second way to trade it that most people don't tell you is that when the market is in a ranging or choppy condition, then it's going to look something like this, right? And this is exactly what happened today. So obviously, if you're trying to trade a market that's chopping and you see it's failing to break out and you're not really getting confirmation, right? You're not supposed to long if we're failing to break out. So what do you do instead? You fade the edges. So if we go for the high, then you simply just short and short down the low, or you can take profit at around the center or wherever VWAP is. And then right, if we start going down, then you buy the rejection off the low. So good phrase for this is long the bottom, short the top. That's how you trade the chop. So that's a second way to trade it. And really, that's all this strategy is. It's very, very simple. I have other videos as well on my channel going a lot more in depth on how to use a strategy and apply it to the charts, but this video is just going to be focused on today's trade. Before we actually even look at any candlesticks or anything, we need to understand the macro economic environment. What sort of market conditions can we expect? And what's really moving the market? So as always, you guys already should know by now, check Forex Factory or any other news site for your economic news. So we have an orange impact unemployment claims, so has some minor impact on the market. So we'll make sure we want to mark out our 8:30 a.m. high and low. That hasn't really been tapped into. And then next, right, you need to be aware of what's actually making up the NASDAQ. So if you guys don't know, NVIDIA takes up a large chunk of the NASDAQ index. It's one of the biggest companies right now. And obviously, if NVIDIA or any other big company in the NASDAQ is going to move, the NASDAQ is going to be moved along with it because, I mean, it's made of that. So basically, yesterday afternoon, they reported their second quarter earnings, and we can see they made $92 billion in, or $96 billion in revenue, and they essentially just beat expectations. Now, this beat wasn't huge, but it was enough to cause a rally in NVIDIA. So we can see NVIDIA is up 7% today and had a gap up. So what does that mean? We have good earnings, right? People are probably going to be bullish, and it's probably going to cause NVIDIA to trend upwards. But because that NVIDIA earnings got released, the market's going to be a lot more volatile. Before then, people were probably more risk off, so the market was kind of chopping and not moving as much. But now with NVIDIA earnings out, people want to update their portfolios, get in and out of positions. So that's going to make the market move really nicely, or if not nicely, it'll be very volatile, and we can catch a pretty big move. So now that we have kind of our background, the trading day looks kind of good. Next, we want to look at the gamma options exposure. So this is called the GEX. This all looks really confusing, but the only thing you need to know is this number right here. So there's two conditions that the market can be in terms of gamma. There is positive gamma and there's negative gamma. So the first environment, we'll just say negative gamma, is when essentially the market will tend to respect breakouts and like to trend, right? So if we're trading the opening range breakout and we get a breakout, we want to respect the breakout. But the other is long gamma. So this is usually when the market makers or people trading options, they kind of want to hedge or really not let price move that much. So in this case, if we reach some sort of breakout level or any level, what's going to happen? We're probably going to see a reversal. And knowing this coming into the trading day, we can see where long gamma, what does that mean? We look for those levels and we fade them. We look to reject off them. So now that we have that in mind, we know we're probably a volatile day, and we're probably a day where we're going to reject our levels. Then we're going to go ahead and look in our chart and start it up. So coming into the morning, I was actually pretty bearish. So we came up off from open and took out 8:30 a.m. news, and I was bearish. I want to see us push down into overnight low, but I didn't really see any trade opportunity there. So I kind of just waited out, since I kind of missed this initial push. This one after we sweep the 8:30 a.m. news, and then we have a 1 minute bearish fair value gap here. Could have scalped this for a short, but then I saw price started moving up really aggressively. Now, yes, NVIDIA earnings were good, but what the market was telling me is that we were in a downtrend on the 1 hour, and I kind of wanted overnight low as my target. And again, we know we're in that positive gamma environment, so we want to fade any levels we hit. So in this case, we form our 930 high and our open range breakout high, shown by this green line. And I think it will be a little bit easier if I show on this chart. We come out and take out the 930 high and the orb high, and then simply I just faded the level and went for a short. And just my idea was that there was no breakout and I wanted to see rejection. And then I basically just targeted a break past VWAP, I believe. Yeah, a break past VWAP, and at the end of this 1 minute candle, I just closed my position. And this was on the Lucid for, I think, 20,000. And then after that, I was kind of just waiting. I had my other set of Topstep Express accounts to trade. And then we kind of started doing some chopping bullshit here. That's kind of like, you don't want to really be caught up in this. So we had this rejection up, and then we had this move down. I think this move down was very tradable, but it was not very clear to me. So I want to try and trade the edges more today. So I see price starts moving down, and what do we go for? We go for our orb low level. Again, this is all drawn by my indicator, so I don't have to do any drawing. And once we hit that orb low, what did I do? I looked for a slight rejection up, so I wanted us to kind of move up a little bit, and then I entered on a long, and then my ultimate target was VWAP in mind. I think RTH VWAP, yeah, because that was the lower one. Price usually likes to swing back to VWAP, but in this case, I just went for the 1 minute. I think my entry is down there, and my TP was up here. So I just went for this one, the top of this or bottom of this 1 minute bearish fair value gap, and that was my trade. So one and done for each account, which is really nice. And we can see for the rest of the day, we're kind of just starting to trend upwards, and we should probably see overnight high sometime later this day, given that Nvidia is trending. So yeah, that's pretty much how I made 26.5K today. First trade in the Lucid for 20K was shorts for 100 points on 2 contracts, and then the second was the Topstep accounts, 2 contracts, longs, both of them 5 accounts. Yeah, essentially all I did was play ping pong with my orb levels, and that was pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Join the Discord and ping me in there, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. And if you guys are looking to get prop firm accounts, I have a deal with Apex where you can get it 80% off, so I'll link that in the description as well. But yeah, other than that, have a fantastic day.